Hey everybody, so I wanted to do a small video of cards that I'm going to end up sending off to PSA, and whenever bulk pricing opens up, things that I think are cool. I don't like sending off cards that are just like random, or things that would be cheap, like for example like a basic Caterpie or something of that factor. I like cards that are actually pleasant to look at. I'm not saying Caterpie isn't, but like hollows, promos, etc., cooler different things that you don't see often. Now, my first set of cards that I wanted to go over are going to be staff promos. They are not making these anymore, or so they say. So I did buy quite a few of these sets. None of these I don't think will get 10s. I think they'll probably get 8s and 9s because there is some corner damage on these. For those of you who have bought staff promos, it's kind of hit or miss, you know, how they come in. They're not packaged very well when it comes to distributors sending them to card shops and all that, so they get nicked up very easily. I have been buying these between probably $100 to $200 a set. Specifically, there is a Darkness Ablaze one that is online right now for, I think it's like 137. I actually bought one the other week for 117, but at 137, I still think it's a pretty good deal for what you get. But that's something to look out for. Who knows, if they stop making these in the future, they could end up accruing value at some point, so I am perfectly fine with that. Now, a lot of people know these, at least modern. I have kind of started to stop collecting modern. That said, I do really like the golds. I was able to pull all these myself, so actually excluding him, he I bought online for 25 bucks, I think. But he's completely mint, great centering, etc. I love the Galarian Obstagoon. I'm a big fan of pink and purple. I'm sorry, no, pink and blue. So, of course, he looks like bubblegum. I actually have a shiny one in the game, and I named him Hubba Bubba just because I found it hilarious. Ended up pulling a Snorlax as well. My girlfriend wants this so bad, so debating on whether or not I'm going to end up giving it to her at some point. I'd like to grade it first. I'm hoping for a 10. It is mint, and the centering on it is pretty good. Of course, I've got the Inteleon I pulled the other day, Cresselia, and of course the Mew. I think these are really cool, like a little subset of cards you can get in general. I might end up collecting all of the Pokemon in gold. I don't really care about the items or anything like that, but the Pokemon themselves I think is really cool when it comes to the modern stuff. Now, I do have actually, no, I take that back. I do have an extra few modern stuff, and that is the Calyrex alt art. I've got a couple of the, there we go, Shiny Star V Charizards. I did buy these up. When these had dropped in price, I think they dropped from like $100 to like 60. So I bought up quite a few. I think 2 of them I paid like $90 for, and then of course they dropped in price, and I bought a couple more afterwards. And then the other few modern cards I do have, besides the Calyrex, are these. I love this artwork of Blaziken VMAX. Of course, I'm a Sobble fan, so anything that has Sobble, I really enjoy. But this artwork is just amazing. And the centering on him is not too bad either. And then, of course, the full art Blaziken. I figured since the centering is not bad on this one either, I could probably just go ahead and add this into a bulk submission at some point. And I figured, of course, you have your Blaziken's fans out there, they'll take it. And Dragonite. I pulled this guy out of a booster box. I ended up trading in some bulk to Pokemon Coliseum, so Danny Phantom and Papa Blastoise, and they sent me a booster box in return. Got this guy on like the second pack, and I about lost my mind. I am not a huge Dragonite fan. That said, I love the artwork. I never noticed until later on when I looked at it that you have the Pharaoh and Sparrow running around or flying around in the background. So I really enjoy these few cards, or these alt arts at least. So my next few cards, I guess you could consider them modern, but I look at it as more as promos, I guess, per se. And that's these guys. And that is the Kanazawa Pikachu Box that you can get from the Pokemon Center. I have opened up 4 of these. My very first box, you have the Milotic, the Pikachu, and look at that hollow, man. And the Sobble, of course. Sobble's my favorite one out of the 3, and it's focusing. There we go. And as you can see, the crazy hollow pattern. Now, I've opened up 4 of these boxes, one of which was literally all the promos had print lines and were all torn up to pieces. And I looked online and come to find out that was actually a common occurrence with these. I took my chance and bought 3 other ones, and I was lucky enough that all these are clean. I think the only one of these that have issues is one of the Pikachus has a nick on the top. Of course, that can't be helped, but otherwise, the rest of them are fully clean. So I don't know if I'm going to submit a full submission with all these, or I might just do minimums, like smaller submissions. That way I have the chance of getting PSA 10s in like sequential numbers. I don't really care about that stuff, but you do have people that do. So figured why not try it out and see what happens. Now, I do have some other cooler promos. I like ordering stuff from Bai Japan. So, of course, I do have a lot of Japanese cards. Now, and we'll be going over those in a bit, but I do have some of these where it's like the Celebi. Of course, Celebi is one of my favorites. The Pokepart Celebi, the Sceptile Meiji promo, and then Pokepark Torchic, Pokepark Munchlax, Poncho Pikachu with the Charizard, and I love these games. The Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, this is the DX, the remastered version of it. Such a great game if you've never played it. Definitely a better twist with Pokemon. And I recommend it for anybody that would like something different. So I have these that I will be sending off. Now, I guess I could go on. Well, I'll do like a little special highlight. I do have some of this stuff where, again, from Bai, I've ordered other promos and or different things that I believe are cool and what might, accrue some value over time. All these are completely mint, luckily. I do have 2 of these somewhere. I have another one somewhere. But I've got the, I'm blanking on his name. But anyway, one of the fossil Pokemon. Of course, the Korokoro, Charizard. If you've never noticed this, I know a lot of people see the promo version in English. But for the Korokoro one, there's actually a little dragon that is right here in the middle with the Korokoro symbol. So I think that's really cool. Got the Comedian Pikachu promo. This guy, I was shocked to get him as mint as he is. This is one of the other fossil Pokemon. I really like him, but he's shiny. I don't know if people know that. I haven't seen a lot of these graded. I've seen the English copy, and look at the hollow on that. That is nuts, man. Or with the texture and everything else. I've seen a couple of these graded. 10s go for a couple hundred. At least those were the English ones. I don't know about the Japanese, so I guess we'll find out what happens. I've got the Empoleon. That is such a pretty card. The hollow going along the bottom. And then, of course, I have the Trio for the 3rd gen. I got these in a bulk lot. All of them are 1st edition. And each of them, the hollows on them are just nuts. A little swirl on that one. I think there's there's no swirl on the second and no swirl on that one. Oh, there's the second one. So, actually, I was wrong. I do have one more modern card, and that is the Charizard Gx from Hidden Fates. As I've said before, I love Hidden Fates. It's the set that got me back. I do love rainbow cards, but this is the card that made me hunt and hunt and hunt when it came to Hidden Fates. Of course, everybody wants this card. This is the chase card. I opened up not as much as Champion's Path, but enough that I gave up. I ended up buying this card. It has decreased in value a little bit. This guy is mint. I mean, mint. Flawless. Centering is pretty good. It is very, very slightly off. Not by much. So I'm hoping for the 10. We'll see what happens. Who knows? I really want the 10. If I'm going to be a little annoyed, to be honest, if I get a 9, because I would have lost value at that point. But we'll see what happens. Now, this is kind of like my pride and joy as to what I like to collect. I've mentioned the Charizard, I believe, already, because I am going for that PSA 9 set. Now, this little bit of lot, if it's not in order, that's fine. I've got some stuff like completely out of order. Yes, I do. All right, so let me grab this stuff. Give me one moment. I thought I had it all, but apparently I don't. All right, here we go. So I have a lot of Team Rocket stuff that I'm going to be sending off. I have the, of course, all these are near mint to mint. Some of them are completely mint. or others that I had bought that were supposed to be in the condition advertised, and they weren't, so I just sucked it up because a lot of them I got really good deals on. So Dark Slowbro, we got Dark Wheezing. I already have a Dark Wheezing in the background, but I ended up picking up another one because it was cheap. I've got the Rainbow Energy. This one, I'm pretty certain it's going to get a 9. It is flawless. But I would hope for the 10, but I seriously doubt it will. I've got 2 Dark Machamps somewhere in here. I've got 2 Dark Vileplumes. I got the Dark Raichu, Alakazam, Hypno. I should have 2 Dragonites. The reason I have 2 of them, first one I bought, I kind of overpaid on, but I didn't realize that he has scratches on the hollow. I'm okay with whitening on the back. I guess for me, the hollows I prefer to be as clean as possible. So luckily, I think it's this one. This one has a super clean hollow, but it does have a little whitening on the back. So we'll see what happens with that. Rocket Sneak Attack. I already have this in a PSA 8, but it is like an OC. It's not like the OC grade, but it should have gotten the OC grade. Of course, Dark Machamp, Vileplume, and Arbok. Arbok is one of the cards that I am desperately missing. And a 9. I don't think this one will get the 9. If it does, I will honestly be shocked. Now, I do have some interesting cards that I want to go over. And these are the Monster Collection cards that are out. And I think I do have... Sorry, bear with me. I thought I had everything in order. All right, there we go. So the different Monster Collection and Bandai. So I've got the Kabutops. I love Nidoking. It's basically my favorite Pokemon. So of course I went and tried to get as many of these as I could. I like the fact that the original game, or at least these cards, have the pixies, or pixels, whatever you want to call them, of the original, or no, sprites, sorry, sprites, of the original Pokemon from the games. So that's a bit of a nostalgia factor for me, because of course I originally played these games when I was a kid. Got more Nidoking, got the entire line. I had a Squirtle as well. Unfortunately, he came in damaged, but I've got the War Turtle. This guy, I'm not quite certain what's going to go on. Obviously, you can see it's got a little print line right there. Otherwise, the card itself is really clean. It's very minimal scratching. Of course, you have your Blastoise sprite right up there. And then I've got a couple of the Bandai. I think these are the Bandai ones, but they are the green and blue backs. So we'll see what happens, see if how they score. I do know that they do have some scratching on the surfaces. Very minimal whitening and or damage on the corners, but I still am uncertain on what grades they might get. Relating to that, I do have a few of these different types of cards right about here. The Pocket Monsters, I think these might be Bandai as well, but the file number cards of Nidoking, these are really clean as well. Just got Nidoking on the background, the no data stuff, and of course your evolution line on the back. I got these really cheap when I had ordered a lot of stuff off of Bai. I reference that a lot. I really enjoy Bai. I've had a few issues, I think, about not with the service itself. The service itself is perfectly fine. When you're buying stuff from sellers over there, obviously you have no contact with them, and even if you do, it's a language barrier that you might run into. A lot of people, from what I'm finding, they're not advertising correctly. They might say unused or new or whatever. And a lot of cards that I've ordered, about 70% of them came in damaged and or not in the condition as shown. Of course, there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to take it. Luckily, the main cards that I have bought that I really, really wanted have come in great condition. And going off of Nidoking as well, per usual, as I told you, I love Nidoking. I've got 4 web promos. These were given, I believe, in the Korokoro magazines or one of the different magazines. I had one in a 10. I'd gotten it off of PWCC when all the hype was big, and I actually only paid like $60 for it. No one was looking at it, and I ended up flipping it for 150 or 160 maybe. So I kind of regretted it because I wanted to start collecting more of Nidoking cards. So when I found these are in pretty good condition. I don't think any of them are 10 worthy, but still something cool to have and something that I was going to send off. Let's see. Oh, apparently I have another Team Rocket card that I completely forgot about. I do have the Blastoise as well. I'll be sending him off. He's probably, I'm probably an 8 or a 9, to be honest. Nowhere near a 10, but I just really like the swirl on that guy. So I guess I'll put him in the background as well. And I do have 2 other Blastoise. Blastoise is another Pokemon that I really love. Basically Nidoking, Celebi, Blastoise, and Typhlosion. So I do have 2 Delta species Blastoise. Both of these are really, really mint. So hoping for the 10s on these, worst case 9. So not too big of a deal. I do have, oh, here's some other Japanese stuff I have as well. And I'll just go through the stack on this stuff. I do have a base set 2 Clefairy I'll be sending off as well. I know this is completely unorganized. I thought I had everything in order. Apparently I don't. Fun. All right, so the story behind these, when Pokemon was big, I was going to different card shops trying to figure out if I could find anything in great condition. Surprisingly, there is a card shop that is near me that they had a binder that no one had looked for in the Japanese stuff. Everybody had just been buying the English stuff. No one touched the Japanese. So I went in the binder and found all of these, Nidoking, of course, my favorite with the swirl, in completely mint condition. Flawless. No scratches the hollow, no scratches on the actual card, no damage, no nicks, nothing. Completely mint. And I was shocked, to be honest. Well, except for this one. I think this one did have very light scratching. But I was shocked. So I bought them all up. And for these, I probably paid $80 in total. Plus, like, with a couple of few other cards that I had bought off of them. And I was just blown away. Of course, if these come back as 10s, that's a good little return. I'll probably still be keeping these no matter what. I probably will still not sell these just because not only are they, Wizards of the Coast, but it's a cool little experience that I've had, and I would love to display these. I did have a few other cards I bought off of Bai. Of course, the Nidoking line. Both of these are web promos as well. And then I do have a few, if it's going to focus, I do have a few of the Legendary Collection. The reason I bought these 2 is I actually currently have a mint Legendary Collection Nidoking at PSA right now. These 2 would not get 10s at all. I think these are probably 8s, but the King that I did send off does have the shot at a 10, so hopefully that will be coming back soon. That was sent off via Graded Gem. Just a matter of time when those come back. I did get my first submission back. The second one was sent in January, so it's currently showing in assembly. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, I forgot I had these 2. This is one of the things I love about the community, and I was actually telling my mother about this earlier. You meet so many people throughout different hobbies, whether it's Funko, whether it's Pokemon, MetaZoo, doesn't matter. You would be shocked as to, how kind people are. I met this one gentleman. He actually lives, come to find out, a couple neighborhoods away. I traded him some newer product. He collected back in the WotC era, and he wanted some newer stuff, and I, of course, liked the older stuff, so he gave me these 2. And also the Rainbow Energy that I had shown earlier. Not the Rainbow Energy. No, it was the Rainbow Energy from Team Rocket that I showed earlier for first edition. So we made a few trades, and he also gave me some other stuff, but these were the main hollows that he gave me. So he asked me, he was like, are you going to be selling these? And I was like, no. I was like, no, not at all. Like, as a memory thing, as my first friend, I guess, that I met through the hobby, I'm just going to keep these as mementos and have them displayed whenever I can get them graded. I did buy a few, oh my good lord, man. I did buy a few first price cards of Typhlosion. One again, I like Typhlosion, but these I bought off of Bai. And this kind of goes back to the way people like ship and or advertise things and buy or on, online is I might make a video when it comes to shipping because I feel like a lot of people need to learn how to do it. But I had one person send one of these in perfectly. It was so well protected. There was no damage that could have happened to it. The other person literally took like a manila or, an envelope, something you put files in, and just put the card in there, just with the little soft sleeve, no actual protection, no nothing, just drop the card in, like nothing. And I have no idea how it survived from Japan to here without damage. Uh, so I'm expecting for one of these to possibly be a 9, and I would not be surprised if the one that was shipped that way came back lower. I have inspected the crap out of both of them. I don't see any problems other than maybe like a tiny bit of whitening, but it's still an annoying situation. Got this guy from Troll and Toad. I'll eventually be sending him off. I've already mentioned I'm not really a fan of Troll and Toad. I like the fact that they're, buying them off like sealed product. But when it comes to buying individual cards, this is the only card I've ever gotten that's, in the condition that it was stated. I've had so many cards come back as, sorry for the rant, but I've had so many cards come that I've ordered in near mint condition and they are torn to pieces. And of course I have to then pay to return them, like shipping to return, just to get my money back. And it's just a hassle, man. It's just such a hassle. So this is the only card that I've ever gotten that was like that. I just bought this because basically it looks like a shiny version of Nidoqueen. It is reverse hollow, and surprisingly this card is mint. I was shocked when I got it. It's probably the only card I've ever kept from Troll and Toad. Again, I got another web promo that I ended up picking up. This guy, I think I bought him off of Bai for $10 or something. He's mint condition, so I'm fine. Rocket's Meowth, and of course the Egg Chansey. And then the last card I had, this guy I was debating on sending. I'll probably just send on, bulk submission whenever it comes up. It's not perfect condition. I think it's probably like an 8 or a 9, but probably more of an 8. But obviously, if you can see the error, it is missing the jungle symbol. So that's the other main reason I wanted to send him off. Now, I think the only other card right now that I'm going to send off that is not Pokemon related is this one Metazoo card. This comes from the, the Halloween Nightfall pin collection. These are supposed to be pretty rare to get when it comes to the alt arts. They don't sell for a lot right now. I think this one was only about $60. This is the T. Kettler alternate art hollow. Oh man, I am jumbling up my words. But I really want to get the Wendigo version. I talked about that one in the Nightfall opening, where the Wendigo is actually reversed. So the head is white and the body is white and the head is black. And I think it just looks really cool. There's a Mothman and Headless Horseman. I think the Headless Horseman is all black. The Mothman is white. And then the background is purple or something. It's really cool. I think that's the most expensive one, but I just want the Wendigo. But I digress. So this is my submission of what I'd like to send off at some point. I might go through and find a few other smaller cards that, maybe modern that I want to send. I had thought about sending, I have a Hidden Fates Sylveon that's pretty mint. I debated on sending that one off. I haven't completely decided. I've got a bunch of other smaller things like from Shiny Star V. When I went on a rampage of opening up stuff. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to, divvy out what things that, are deserving of grading for right now and what stuff is just going to continue to be reprinted within the hobby. But anywho, that is my entire video. I thought it was interesting, and I just like sharing my own collection with everybody. So hopefully y'all enjoy it too. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I do have an eBay store. I do have an Instagram. I do post things here and there. If you see different things that you might like, probably not in this submission, but if you see things that you might like on there, and you want to work something out, I am more than happy to sell on PayPal and or other things to not only decrease, your spending price versus also my return, because of course eBay fees and everything else. It's a lot cheaper to sell via PayPal versus eBay, and of course I can pass on the savings otherwise. But yeah, otherwise I hope y'all have a nice night and enjoyed my little tidbit of my collection. See y'all later. Bye.